International Economic Forum, Russia, Islamic World, Forum 2024, and a strategic session of mutual integration of wellness practices of the Muslim world and BRICS countries. So I'm happy to give the floor to the chairman of the Coalition of Wellness Practices, Elena Vladimirovna Sharaeva. Dear colleagues, BRICS countries, as of now, are the new center of gravity, so to speak, center of power. And we're happy to welcome 5 new member countries, member nations, 4 of which are the countries of the Islamic world. Undoubtedly, our main objective, main goal is healthcare and health and wellness of the population of the BRICS countries. It is therefore the coalition of BRICS countries as an integration platform for wellness practices in health practices in the Muslim world is welcoming representatives of these countries. And our panel session today is about the integration of Islamic wellness practices, health practices in a territory of the Russian Federation and in the territories of the BRICS countries. The coalition of health practices of the BRICS countries, as the coordinator of the session, is welcoming you at this session. And let me introduce our panelists here and moderators. Ekaterina Skaredova-Weiss is co-chair of the Coalition of Health Practices of the BRICS countries, subcommittee of the Moscow Chamber of Commerce and Industry for the Business Development, and Mikhail Davidov-Zinger, who's co-chair of the Coordination Council of the Coalition of Health Practices of the BRICS countries, chair of the Interdisciplinary Federation of Wellness Practices and Health Preserving Practices. I would like to start this this panel session by thanking our partners for their support, and please show the next slide with welcoming words, welcoming opening statements. Senator of the Russian Federation has the floor, and she's a representative of the Komi Republic Committee, member of the Committee Department of the Regional Policy for Local Authorities for the for management of the northern territories of the Russian Federation. Dear colleagues, please please show the slide with a letter. It's actually a scan of the letter coming from the Senator of the Russian Federation. Dear colleagues, I'll welcome the organizers and members and guests of the 15th International Economic Forum, Russia, Islamic World, Kazan Forum 2024. The tradition of friendship and mutual friendship between the Russian and Muslim states is a solid foundation for the fostering of scientific and technical and humanitarian affairs. We're glad to note the execution of major joint projects and dynamic growth of Muslim countries in Russia in areas of science, economy. Russia is interested in fostering the existing relations and fostering new partnerships in the development of agricultural and industrial cooperation, as well as the development of modern-day transport and logistics hubs. The forum is not only a platform for the economic cooperation, but is also a center for interconfessional development of the countries. Russia aims to further develop the business and humanitarian dialogue with our partners. The objective of the Forum of the Russia Islamic World Kazan 2024 is to foster the development and promotion of trust between the peoples and nations, as well as the development of the dialogue between the nations. Kazan, with its unique synthesis of innovations and traditions, is a hub for major and significant events. The city becomes an exemplar for other cities, showing how this diversity, religious diversity, may become a force for driving future growth. I'm sure this forum will be beneficial and efficient, and it will enable the participants to foster the potential to network and to launch new joint initiatives. I wish all of the attendants fruitful work. Best of luck. And thank you very much, Shamilova. Thank you. So here's the greeting from the Deputy of the Russian Duma, a member of the Committee for Healthcare Committee of the Russian Duma. The floor is yours. Dear colleagues and members of the 15th International Economic Forum, Russia Islamic World Kazan Forum 2024. On behalf of the deputies and members of the Committee of the Duma, Healthcare Committee of the Health Committee of the Russian Duma, in terms of the wellness practices for the Islamic countries, I'd like to thank the government of the Republic of Tatarstan for organizing this significant event. Every year, this forum gathers hundreds of specialists, and in the course of 15 years, this forum has become a reliable and solid platform for fostering social and cultural and socio-technical development of the Russian Federation and Islamic countries. This forum is a space for networking and for fostering new opportunities and discussion of strategically important issues of social economic aspect, and for developing and sharing experience. Undeniably, the foundation of well-being of any state is healthy population that enables its well-rounded development. It's a major resource. So health and well-being of people has been and is a priority of national policy of both Russia and our international and overseas nations. It's important to learn the experience of our colleagues and to share our own experience and our own practices. On the federal level, Russia has been regularly taking measures that foster the development of well-being and the preservation of health, which is one of the one of the pivots for shaping the health of the Russian Federation population. Our president, the Russian Federation president, has been pointing out the importance and necessity to perfecting the existing and better improving existing regulations in healthcare area. In its recent address in February 2024, the president instructed that the new national projects are formed, including the project for the development of health preservation and health fostering well-being. Now we're in a stage of preparation of these national projects, new technologies for health preservation. In accordance with the list of these instructions, based on the participation of the president in the plenary session, after the meeting with the scientists as part of this national project, it is planned to develop international cooperation in the area of the medicine and to improve preventive programs, health prevention programs at the early stage, and timely diagnosis of the development of diseases, as well as transfer to predictive medicine using remote monitoring of the health conditions, the application of domestic medicines, including medical devices and biomedical cellular products, including those made using cellular technologies and medical technologies, including the technology of bioprint and those aimed at longevity improvement or enhancement. The national project initiated by the project, I'm sure, will become the new stepping stone in development of the domestic healthcare, as well as fostering national health. In December 2023, the National Committee, the Duma, established an expert council, a healthcare council. I'm sure our council will become this additional platform, additional forum for the discussion of health preservation of the Russian population and to attain the most effective result in the process of the development and execution of the new national project, as well as its regulatory aspect. So this coordinated work of the legislative and executive bodies will help execute the president's program and to improve the living standards of the Russian population. We have been working closely with the institutions and administration. The deputy corpus of the Russian Duma pays attention to the healthcare issues, and this is how we solve the HR issues. We implement new support measures for the healthcare workers. We pay more attention to the issues of rendering medical help assistance in medical rehabilitation area. This issue has been pressing during the COVID-19 pandemic, and today, as part of the special military operation, medical rehabilitation and resort has been active. So we are in the process of implementing projects to the medical rehabilitation projects aimed to update and upgrade medical rehabilitation in the country. Sanitary and resort rehabilitation is an important segment of the national healthcare system, which enables us to, in a focused manner, to prevent diseases and to restore patients, as well as to help with the rehabilitation of patients. In the 70s and 80s of the past century, we witnessed a well-structured system. It helped restore health of millions of our compatriots. So today, we're looking at the healthcare aspect as one of the most important aspects in the system of healthcare and well-being of the Russian population, using healthcare factors, both existing R&D practices and, of course, the past experience. When we talk about the prevention of diseases, we first and foremost mean caring of children as well as the elderly. Of course, in this area, legislation is also being improved. Russian citizens have a way to undergo dispensation at both on-site and remotely. There are mobile medical crews that come to people if they live in remote areas. Despite the fact that the medical system is constantly evolving, we're positive there's a lot of work ahead. So by cooperating with the newly formed cabinet of the ministers of the Russian Federation, as well as our partners from the friendly nations, we will be able to tackle all the issues and we'll prioritize the next steps. I'm sure the strategic session in mutual integration of health practices of the Muslim world and the BRICS countries will be an efficient platform and forum for the discussion of the existing practices in healthcare, public healthcare, as well as productive exchange of experience and practices, fostering resultful, effective dialogue. Dear colleagues, I wish you fruitful work and professional and personal successes, and first and foremost, I wish you health to you and your close ones, your family members. So then we also have greetings of the president of the Resort Association and the Union of the Health of the Healthy Persons, Mr. Razumov, Colleen College.
Разумова. Приветственный адрес.
The opening speech to the participants comes from Serge Rokas-Alamit, and I'd like to move on to our business section to discuss the pressing issues that we, the speakers, propose to discuss today. So I'm happy to give the floor to Vincente Clares Barrientos. We'd like to get the clicker to move between slides. Professor, political scientist, president of the Business Council of the BRICS countries, Mr. Vicente, please, the floor is yours. And dear ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you once again for this kind invitation, and in particular, I'd like to thank Dr. Schreiber, who kindly invited me to partake in this roundtable, in this talking about this very important aspect of health and healthcare and well-being for the population. And in this lesser-known practice, at least lesser-known for the wider audiences, I'm talking about the non-conventional medicine in the BRICS countries, especially in the Islamic countries. Since this subject is not my core activity, I would like to be rather concise. I'll try to stay concise so as not to talk too much about what is healthy, what is not, what is worthy, and what is not worthy doing. Previously, I took part in a previous panel session that was devoted to SMEs, small and mid-sized businesses, where I talked about, just as Dr. Schreiber mentioned, our family, the BRICS family, comprised 5 members now, or 10, In the past, we had communications issues. Of course, with the new 5 members and a total of 10 members, this communication process will not get easier. In order to facilitate this process, we should primarily, first and foremost, harmonize certain parameters and standards of communications, as well as the standard for the terminology, so that whatever we do corresponds to the goals and objectives. So I have some tips before me. First, because it's something new, it's a new area of work for the BRICS countries. I proposed to call the medical forum for the BRICS countries to discuss both traditional and non-traditional medicine, and to form working groups to harmonize these issues between our potential members and existing members, to develop standards in medical education as well as wellness specialists. Of course, mutual recognition of the medical diplomas, certificates, mutual recognition of food supplements, as well as, of course, HR training for the medical specialist training, and the establishment of mutual medical tourism in BRICS countries. As we received this greeting letter from the president of the Medical Health Resort Association, a couple of days ago, I just came from the city of Sochi. Came from Sochi to Moscow, where I had so back in Sochi, I had the chance to visit several health resorts as a guest, and I had a chance to validate the quality of medical services, both diagnostics, preventive services. But the thing is that there's a certain variation in the interpretation of terms, medical terms, because I have some relation to traditional medicine. This is when I thought that it would be possible, I think, and it would be interesting to propose to form or to set up a forum that would promote the development of medical tourism when it comes to Russia, or as applied to Russia and other countries, because this industry, the medical tourism industry, has not been well developed in Russia so far. And so I believe our colleagues and partners, both from the Arabic world and Islamic world and Latin American, LATAM region, may be interested in this work, i.e. to shape a structure that would deal with these issues. And Dr. Shariva, I believe, I think you and your team are more than capable to set up an organizational structure that would that would lay the ground for calling this forum, for the convocation of the forum, and to harmonize the standards, in the respective directions. Thank you very much. So as one of the agenda items, we'll be talking about the standards for phytotherapy, halal nutrition, wellness practices, for the integration of which we have applied a lot of effort, and we're the systems integrator and a platform, not just for the discussion, but also for the application of proposals and to execute these practices in the relevant countries. I'm sure you're right. We need the infrastructure for practical integration, for practical cooperation. Speaking of the tourist flows, medical tourism flows, as well as legal economic issues, I'm sure we'll need many more meetings of this kind. So this type of forum is an excellent opportunity to apply the experience and the expertise. Now, dear colleagues, let me give the floor to an excellent person, a great manager, and a great expert and specialist who has led the coalition of the BRICS health practices, and our friend, Abdullah Rashid Subadi, who's the founder of the Subadi pills, former deputy minister of the federative government of the United Arab Emirates. And so, Mr. Abdullah Rashid Al Suwaidi. And let me add that Mr. Abdullah Rashid Al Suwaidi is our honorable guest in terms of the personal application of the practices and technologies. And he, I'm sure, would like to share his personal experience. So is that correct? Is that right?
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished colleagues, speakers, thank you very much for the introductions. The honorable guest today here is the people in the field in healthcare, not me. I'm here to support, honestly, the good initiatives that I've seen rising recently. I have a speech ready, but I'm not going to read the speech, and the translator will have a challenge to translate directly what I'm saying, and I think he's doing a good job. I've worked in the government, and I've decided to discover the world. Unfortunately, I've been everywhere in the world except Russia. And my first visit to Russia was last May, last year. So it's almost 1-year anniversary of getting to know Russia more and more. I come from the United Arab Emirates, a country that have a good diplomatic ties with Russia. It goes back to 52 years, good relations. The UAE has been formed in 1971, just a few months after Russia, Soviet Union, has built up the ties and embassy was opened. But with the growth of the UAE, we've seen a lot of Russian participants and prisons. We are actually number 12 in the world as the top 12 partner, number 12 top partner between Russia and the world. And we are number 1 in the Arab world. And that gives a really great responsibility, or big responsibility, for the two sides to do their best and to develop. My speech is today more diplomatic, more politics, but also more personal, because last year when I came here, I was participating in one of the events. I came as a tourist in May, and then I came as a speaker in an economic forum in Moscow, December last year. Among the exhibitors is an amazing, beautiful ladies here, has a presence, Elena and Natalia, and the amazing group of BRICS representatives, who they, meet you with a smile and meet you with a great interest. Interest not to promote themselves, interest to know more about the Arab and the Islamic world. And they came to the right person. I have this curiosity to know more about others, and I'm willing to exchange that. But they did not offer friendship. They actually offer what I like and what I've been searching in China and India, in South America, in the Arab world, is alternative medicine. We do have alternative medicine in the UAE. We have a great representative of holistic medical center here, one of the famous center in the whole UAE. But discovering a new techniques of treatment is very important for me personally. I don't want to always stick to hijama. I don't want to take the traditional medicine, but I want to try something new. And honestly, with us, I'm 50 years old, with the growing up, symptoms start to come of what it seems to be an aged symptoms. But everything has solutions. I didn't find these solutions in hospital, in modern hospital today. But I was very amazed of seeing that ancient Russian medicine has these solutions. Not only that, the treatment has different different kind. So I'm sure you know the banya. I didn't know about the banya. I know banya, that it exists in only sport club. I didn't know it's a medicine. I didn't know it's used for healing. I didn't know that the Russians, they do it once a week as far as I know. And they socialize with that. Women have their own customs and men has their own customs. And they actually heal themselves with this practice. This is for Arabs and Muslims is something new. And then you go and discover that medicine is not what the medicine that we have, and it comes from Europe or come from America or come from other place. It's actually Russian made, and it's all natural medicines. The effect of these medicines with the symptoms that I have has make a quick change and better change. And this is what I see Russia is missing for many, many years. I think for centuries. Russia has kept all these techniques inside Russia. And it's just only the corona, the pandemic, and the war that has forced Russia to look south. Before is looking east and west, but now for the first time looking south. United Arab Emirates is playing a major role into, when you do business with the United Arab Emirates, you don't do business in the United Arab Emirates for the local market. We are only approximately 10 million population of a local and an expat. But actually, we are positioned as a hub of the world. And we are highly connected with the airlines, with the infrastructure, with the shipping lines, with what we call forums and exhibitions industry. Every week there is 2-3 exhibitions that doesn't bring the people just only to Dubai. They do business in these exhibitions. So using UAE as a platform for the Russian medicines, equipments, practices, it's a great mutual interest for the two countries, Russia and the UAE. But you're not going to do business with the UAE. You'll do business with GCC, Gulf Cooperation Council. You'll do business with the Indian subcontinent. You'll do business with Iran, our neighbor. You'll do business with Northern African countries, and even Eastern and Western Africa, highly connected. All people coming to shop into the United Arab Emirates. There's approximately 700 Russian companies so far, and the number is increasing. These companies has opened, and they've started to connect with the world by doing that. If you ask me, there is optimistic look for the mutual interest of Russia exporting its techniques, traditional medicines into the world? I truly believe that it's possible. It depends to the willing of the support. This wonderful group of BRICS Consortium BRICS Health. It's a personal initiatives supported by individuals who cares to connect with the world. They go beyond the borders, and they got to me, and they got to Dr. Hyman, and I think they went all the way. Where actually UAE is a newly member of a BRICS, and that is a good chance also to connect with that and reach out to the people around the world. I think with this enthusiasm, with this persistence, with this commitment from BRICS Health in Russia and the representative around the world, there is a big chance, because people are suffering, people in pain, people are lost, especially after the pandemic. They don't know who to trust. And traditional medicines, it does not only linked to Russian ancient. There is an Arab and Islamic ancient. There is a Chinese. There is Indian. There is a civilization has contributed. If it's all come together, it will really present a good alternative to the world for better health, for better life. I don't want to talk too much My talks is all about politics and diplomacy and about the trade, but I'm sure that you will be very entertained with the information that my colleagues has, Dr. Heyman and the rest of BRICS representative. Thank you very much for listening, and looking forward to see more mutual relations between Islamic world and Russia. It can happen. Thank you.
А теперь, уважаемые.
And now, dear colleagues, dear ladies and gentlemen, allow me to give the floor to a brilliant specialist, Dr. Hayman Al-Nahal, the director of Sharjah International Holistic Center. He is also director of 12 holistic clinics. And to anticipate his presentation, I would like to say that I learned the slides that you are about to see. And from the depths of my soul, I would like to give my personal opinion. I congratulate all the representatives of medical community and representatives of medical community and specialists in traditional healthcare on the chance to see the information that they're going to see. This traditional neuroharmonic level is something new in medicine. Dr. Hayman Al-Nahal.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'm glad to be here, participate in the Kazan Forum 2024. Thank you for the organizer for invitation for this conference, and I hope with my topic today we added some value about to clear where the Islamic medicine and United Arab Emirates, we give a chance to Islamic medicine to integrate with the modern medicine, and this is today it's my topic. First of all, I want to clarify some term regarding complementary medicine and alternative medicine, integration medicine, natural medicine, holistic medicine. All these terms are going in one line to take care about the symptoms and the sign of the patient to improve her health or his health in the two way, in the prophylactic way and the treatment way. For that means every country now, like United States and Canada, will start the term integration to integrate the modern medicine with the complementary medicine. Before, China said alternative medicine. Nowadays, in the Arabic country, it said complementary medicine. All these terms helping to get the result to the patient to improve his health, as I told in the prophylactic and the treatment way. Just I want to start by Islamic medicine, the type of, this is some medical term, alternative, complementary, holistic, natural, integrative medicine, and this is what we are today talking, how we integrate the Islamic medicine with the modern medicine, because we have a lot of the fake information about that, a lot of the people advertise in the bad way and they get the bad result to the patient. As I'm in the committee of exam of complementary medicine in the Ministry of Health, United Arab Emirates, and also in the Ministry of Health of Bahrain, we are told all the time complementary medicine helping in the treatment, help to treat, help the patient to improve his health, because we have two types of complementary medicine here, preventive and helping in the treatment also at the same time. In the Islamic medicine, we're coming in the topic of the Islamic medicine. Of course, there is a lot of the type of complementary medicine. Just directly, I will go for the other topic, but in the brief, we have Islamic medicine, herbal medicine, cupping medicine, nutritional therapy, ozone therapy, macrobiotic, Ayurvedic medicine, which Indian medicine like homeopathy, also chiropractic, water therapy, Chinese medicine, acupressure, osteopath, reflexology. All this is type of complementary medicine. Some of it is approved from the health authority. Some of it until now is not approved, to be clear with you. We have other type also like iridology, colon hydrotherapy, tissue salt therapy, aromatherapy, massage therapy, lymphatic drainage massage therapy. All this is some kind of technique we can use by a health professional. Then we'll come now for other type also like a rolfing, shiatsu, color therapy, music therapy, epitherapy, quantum medicine, and radionic therapy, and Sajuk therapy. This is some of the complementary medicine or holistic medicine type which we can integrate with any other modern medicine if we are the patient need this type of a treatment, or we can help the health of the patient, because some cases we cannot say the myocardial infarction or CVA I will do with Islamic medicine or Chinese medicine. This is need a hospital. If there is gangrene and there is need amputation, there is need a hospital. We cannot tell them, Allah, come to me, I will treat you by Sajuk therapy. This is a fake information and you are lying with the patient health. This is what we are put it, the track where we put it the complementary or integration medicine. Sorry. Then I'll come by, this is my topic, Islamic medicine. Of course, Islamic medicine, we divided into four major branch. One, it's the al-wudu. The second is the fasting. Third is the herbal treatment. And fifth is the cupping. Fourth is the cupping. And the fifth and the last one is al-ruqya al-shar'iyya. This is the type of Islamic medicine. Today I will concentrate about hijama or cupping therapy, how we integrate this type of a treatment. First of all, I need to make the definition of hijama. Is the process of withdrawal of blood from the surface. Here, again, I concentrate about wet cupping, not dry cupping. Hijama, it's a mean, remove some amount of blood, not as the people advertise, bad blood. There is no bad blood in the human being. This is some blood. It's contentless of amount of a normal cell, but of course we have a normal cell like red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, plus less amount of plasma, but we have a big amount of heavy metals, and this is the difference between the blood donation and hijama. With surface of the skin, with or without causing scratch, and in medical cupping, we scratch capillaries to bring a toxin and free radical, but free radical inside the body, not outside the body, as a chemical action of hijama. A lot of the people told, Wallah, hijama remove the free radical. It's not true at all. Hijama change the free radical, which atom oxygen 1 to the O2 inside the body, and this is will lead to activate the oxygenation inside the body, then will improve a lot of the thing, plus the immune system. And later we're coming when we talk about the mechanism of action of hijama. We'll talk about the history of cupping therapy. Of course, all the countries spoke about the cupping therapy, dry cupping, but Prophet Muhammad concentrate about the medical or the what we call wet cupping, and we have a lot of hadith regarding this type of treatment is important and improve your body, and if you do it hijama in the proper way, maybe you can protect yourself from heart attack or myocardial infarction, especially if you do it regularly and the proper way. And I will show in the end of my presentation the misuse of hijama. Just now I'll go very brief. This is the type of hijama or type of cupping generally. We talk about dry cupping. Our topic, it's a wet cupping. We talk about also movable cupping, and this is one of the best type of treatment we'll use in the two major disease in infertility and in sciatica. When you use infertility in the female especially, this is the common point in the lower abdomen. We start by the movable cupping, then we'll do the wet cupping. Then we'll go also in the sciatica to also distinguish where is the best point to scratch in the thigh. We do this type of cupping. It's called movable cupping or sliding cupping sometimes, to see where is the major point of the pain to the patient, and this is the point we're scratching to remove some amount of blood. Water cupping is a type of dry cupping. Magnetic cupping also type of dry cupping. We'll use the magnetic with the cup. There's a bamboo cupping. It's a type we'll use nowadays in the horse. Now in the Gulf, start to introduce the cupping in the horse. This is will activate the horse more and more, especially before any race. Also, we have acupuncture cupping. This is very common in Chinese medicine. And cosmetic cupping, this is the newest type of cupping hijama. We will do it the cosmetic. We'll use some special oil like argan oil, and then we'll sliding the cupping in the face with in the face with very slight suction, because if you are make it hard suction, you will make it ecchymosis and the hematoma in the face, and this is not we read it. Only we needed to scratch, we don't scratch, only we need to gentle suction of the skin to activate the epidermis, and after that to increase the oxygenation. This will help the collagen, the production of the collagen and the elasticity of the skin, and the buffness will decrease, and the darkness around the eye also will decrease especially, but this is temporary effect. Within a week, we can do it 7 sessions. Each day we can do it 1 session, and this is what we call a movable cupping, cosmetic cupping. Now I'm coming for the mechanism of action, and this is the most important thing in my topic today. When we are talking about mechanism of action, how the cupping work. A lot of the people advertise cupping, remove the toxin, remove the bad blood. As I told you, there is no bad blood. This is the major and the very important medical theory to hijama in the body. We have one endorphin theory. Why when we scratch the skin and we remove some amount of blood, what happened by the chemical action inside the body, by activation the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, then will production of the morphine, and this will lead to decrease the pain. And this is same in the pain control theory. The signal, sometimes we put 6 cup and we scratch 9 to 13 scratch per cup. That's mean more 50 to 60 signal in one time go to the brain. This will replace from the pain signal to relax signal to this point, and the production also with the chemical interaction inside the body. Reflex theory, and this is also very important, told each area in the skin we have innervation between the skin and the internal organ. When we are scratching the skin, we are send the signal from the skin to the internal organ, and then we'll get some reflex or some action, because that I told help in the treatment. Not all the people, when we go for the Islamic medicine and we go for hijama, improve 100%. Of course, not true. Same any other kind of a treatment, sometimes there is some effect, some other patient we can get some benefit from this treatment. The most important, the patient not come for harmful or side effect or any complication when we do it the professional way. Prostaglandin theory, any patient complaining of any inflammation inside the body, the prostaglandin will be increased more and more. When we do hijama, will decrease this amount of the prostaglandin, and the patient, the inflammation will decrease, and the patient will feel more decrease in the pain and the inflammation itself. Acupuncture theory, as I told you, we started the acupuncture. There is 12 meridians inside the body. When there is a blockage of this meridian, we start to opening by scratching the skin and improve the rays inside the body. Free radicals and improvement of blood circulation, as I told to you, this is one of the major theory and used a lot today to clear the action. By scratching the skin, we change the oxygen from O1 to the O2, because that a lot of athletics nowadays, a big champion, a big club start to do hijama inside the clinic of the club. Why? Because it's improved the blood circulation, increase the oxygen, decrease the lactic acid, and decrease the non-organic phosphorus. طب how cupping increase the immune system? All of us, we have Langerhans over the skin. When we are start to scratch the skin, we are send signal to the brain by this scratch. This will lead to production of gamma globulin. This will lead to increase the production of white blood cells, and then the immune system will increase. Last theory for hijama, the spinal nerve theory, which is located behind the vertebral column. Each vertebra, we have 2 spinal nerve, right and the left. This is innervate internal organ. When we start in the back scratching the skin, we are send the signal to the brain via sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system to get the effect. And this is, as we know all, the liver is located in right hypochondrium. But if I go to the thoracic number 5, right and the left side, then we scratch this point. We are scratching the liver directly, because the innervation of the liver coming from this vertebra. In this case, this is the spinal nerve theory. This is some mechanism of action of hijama. and some theory. Because I don't have time more, I want to show you also, this is like a reflexology point inside the body, in the hand and the feet also. When we are start to make it the combination between the hand and the feet, and we make it some press in some area in the body to get some reflex. I want to show you the point of hijama. This is the explanation what I said about the acupuncture and also the point and the spinal nerve theory. And this is the diagram of the spinal nerve theory now will appear in the slide. You see here, each organ is innervated from the vertebral column. And this is organ, when we do some scratching in the back, then we'll go directly the signal to the internal organ, and we get the effect, the chemical effect, which we are looking in hijama. This is also the communication between the vertebra and the spinal nerve and the internal organ. We have a lot of the medical benefit of hijama, like stimulate blood circulation, activate body movement, activate biological processes in the skin, activate also or decrease the toxin, stimulate energy pathway, strength overall immunity, decrease the pain, cupping raise antioxidant, cupping also reduce LDL and increase the HDL, because we have some paper in India about how hijama helping to reduce the bad cholesterol and improve good cholesterol by doing a treatment session, at least 3 sessions, between each session 1 month, and this is what we call a treatment session. This is some contraindication to do the hijama. You cannot do hijama during the high fever and renal failure patient with hemophilia, patient with pacemaker, severe anemia. If male hemoglobin below 10, we cannot do hijama. Female below 9, we cannot do hijama. Pregnant woman, not allowed to scratch over the varicose. Cancer patient, not allowed to do over umbilical, nipple, eye, patella. We have a lot of contraindication how to do the hijama. This is the diagram of the point of hijama over the body. This is the back. We have 98 points to do hijama in the professional way when we are choose the point related to some disease. This is the front point also, how we do hijama in the front point. We have a lot of disease we can helping in the treat hijama, like sciatica, migraine, some cases of infertility, lower back pain, disc in the grade 1 and grade 2, abdominal problem like constipation, irritable bowel syndrome, and some hormonal imbalance, and also some type of headache, otitis media, joint pain, especially like lower back, shoulder pain, neck pain, stiffness everywhere, but we cannot do hijama during in the front over the joint if there is swelling or there is effusion. Contraindication to do hijama over the joint, because this is the possibility of infection will increase. Of course, we have a lot different between the cupping and the blood donation. The blood donation, you cannot repeat it after 1 month. The blood donation, the blood coming from the vein, the amount of blood in the blood donation, 450 ml. The blood donation will not production of the morphine after, if you have pain and you go for blood donation, you will not feel the pain disappear. In the hijama, when you are scratching sometimes the epidermis and there is reflex, you will see the effect sometimes on a spot if you are do it in the professional way and the scratching in the professional way. This is some athletics who's the very famous Karim Benzema. We do 2 types of hijama. We do dry cupping and wet cupping. There's some athletics who do dry or wet, I'm talking. This is the misuse of hijama now. You'll see this is the very bad way if you are scratching deep, if you are removing a big amount of blood, if hard suction over the skin, if you are scratching deep more than 1 ml, you will not get the effect, and you will get also misuse of hijama. This is also, a lot of the people said, when we do hijama, we remove clotting blood. This is not true. The clotting blood coming after we keep the cup more than 3 minutes. The cupping session between 3 to 5 minutes, because in the blood we have a clotting factor. We have 13 clotting factor. This is of course when the cup itself we have air coming inside, and also regarding this chemical action, the blood is clotting. Because that is not true, same a lot of the people advertise on YouTube, we are removing clotting from the hijama blood. This is not true, of course. You see some very bad scratch, very deep scratch. Generally, when we are scratching longitudinal Y with the gravity, and the healing will be more faster. When you are scratching in the transverse and any area in the body except 2 areas, and the top of the shoulder and the lower abdomen in the female especially, this is the most important point to scratch. This is also the misuse of hijama, how it's coming with burn, because with the hard suction. This is also the misuse of hijama. If you calculated between ankle until the knee, more than 20 cup. Generally, if I practice for some patient any kind of disease, I can put 2 to 3 cups. A lot of the people thinking when increase amount of blood and increase number of the cup, this is a professional way. Totally, this is not a professional way. Also, you see how's the amount of blood, a huge amount of blood. All this is misuse of hijama. This is the general point which I'm discovering since long time when I start to do to any patient. The 6th point is the major point, and covering a big organ inside the body. Start from the cervical C7, and then we'll go for the lung and the liver, then we'll go for the heart, then covering the intestine and the GIT, the genital organ, plus the lower back. This is the 6th point, is the starter of hijama. When we are start to do a prophylactic or a treatment, you need to start by this point, then you can go to any other point. This is I'm speaking about the medical cupping for athletics. As I told to you, increase the oxygen, decrease the lactic acid, decrease the free radicals, and decrease also or absorb non-organic phosphorus, and this will lead the athletics to play more and more, and the energy also in the healing or recovery of energy. Some injury we can introduce the hijama, some injury we cannot. Finally, this is my advice. We recommend to do medical cupping, but not to exaggerate its role in the medical cupping. Is a minor surgery and must be conducted in the center or a clinic under the full medical supervision. Again and again, cupping is a very important to integrate it with the modern medicine, but with limitation rule. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Да, мы благодарим доктора Хаймана.
We thank Dr. Hayman El Nahal for his brilliant report and for his high professional level in working with this highly specific method of therapy and practice. And I would like to give the floor to Elena Shumilova, to Elena Shuraeva, I'm sorry, to give a brief summary to this report.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to say that indeed we just witnessed how this is an important and important and requisite practice, health practice. But as Dr. Hyman said, this practice must be exercised by professionals in a professional manner. Yet he revealed yet another secret. He trains physiotherapists and nurses, and it trains them in a territory of 5 countries of the Islamic world. And we sincerely hope that, thanks to you, Dr. Hyman, the right hijama methods, not like you just saw, the misuse, so that the right appropriate methods are represented, not just the territories of our Muslim countries. We know that hijamas are practiced in the republics of Chechnya, Tatarstan, etc., but in other regions, it's either poorly represented or improperly represented. And we do hope, sincerely, Dr. Hyman, that thanks to your help, it'll be done at a very high professional level, so that we set up educational programs at this level. Yet another method of normalization of our health is nutrition, And nutrition, according to the Islamic tradition, Islamic practice, must be halal nutrition. So I'm happy to give the floor now to Sergey Benemecher, head of Summit Engineering Group, who will explore this topic of halal nutrition. Please have the floor.
Поскольку уважаемый Реза у нас
As Riza will speak Farsi, so he will, and Mr. Zinger will present in Russian after the text in Farsi. And then, in the name of the Lord, the Almighty and Merciful. Here I represent Iran, and Iran is a country where cultural people with ancient cultures live, and since the ancient times, the Iranians, even before the birth of Jesus Christ, had an ancient technology, nutrition culture, and the culture of healthy nutrition, and they used pure resources and pure organic foods and nutrients. And I'd like to share, and Iran shared its experience with other nations, including China and Western European countries, all the way from the north to south of Africa. Since for a long, long time, countries have fostered economic ties, connections, and the Silk Road, even before the birth of Islam in Iran. The Silk Road spanned over 6,400 kilometers. That's spanned Eurasian trading routes all the way through to China via the Parthian Empire of Iran and Eastern Africa and the Mediterranean Sea. So that Silk Road connected these trading paths, and it played an important role in economic interaction, cultural interaction, as well as religious interaction of the East and the West. Currently, it is natural that there's a need to pay more attention to nutrition, healthy nutrition of the populations of peoples of various countries, and it begs the question of the supplies of healthy nutrients and nutrition, setting up production of such healthy nutrition, and to meet the demands for such nutrition. It's worth noting that nutrition now is a lever that many people impose for countries that impose one-sided sanctions against other nations. It's an example. This is an example of the action towards, or rather against, Palestine that represents per se an attack on Palestine and its people. At the same time, for the BRICS countries, countering such policy could be a successful measure, and now Palestine is under pressure, which is inhumane, and the people of this country is suffering from the lack of healthy food and healthy nutrition. First and foremost, we're talking about children and of the Gaza Strip. It is sad, and that the world is not hearing the voice of these people and children that are suffering. Because the Gaza Strip is alone, and we must continue and must return to the issue of nutrition, as the Holy Scriptures, the Torah, the Bible, etc., say it must. Nutrition must be clean, must be, as well as, of course, the Holy Quran. Nutrition is separated into haram and halal. In the religious texts of Quran, there are indications of ayata related with correct halal nutrition, halal food, and there's also talk about incorrect or improper nutrition that adversely affects health of human health. So nutrition, it says that nutrition, according to Islam, the good food, healthy nutrition is allowed. And certification or labeling, halal labeling, halal certification that is applied to nutrition, nutrients and foods means that from the standpoint of Islam, that food or nutrients are allowed. 3 billion people that represent about a third of the total global population that worship Islam also share the importance of such halal product certification. And halal certification for the first time was done back at some point in Malaysia for the first time. And that symbol grew popularity, and it became popular, and it got distributed among other Islamic countries of the world, and it is now welcome in Islamic countries, and not only non-Islamic countries. It enjoys fast-paced growth worldwide, and so many countries are showing and expressing their interest in importing halal products, halal foods. The global halal food product over the past years resulted in the fact that many other foods, for example, hygienic products, non-food products like hygiene products, etc., are now these products are now certified, halal certified, which stipulates for the creation of halal nutrition standards by experts from Islamic countries. These are the stepping stones towards the execution of halal product certification, and countries of the Islamic among the OIC countries. The Islamic countries are sure that a halal brand can in turn be beneficial and profitable, in fact, and beneficial, and it can lead to the establishment of independent identity of BRICS countries, which can also result in, which can also lead to, which can help us achieve our objectives in terms of halal use and halal brand use. Let me thank all the attendants for this and the hosts for inviting me over to speak here in front of you. Thank you very much. Dear ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, I understand that there was a particular speech with a particular reception, but in fact, we're witnessing a rather unique option for translation of or dissemination of the understanding that this humane and economic potential of the BRICS countries, including the Islamic sector of the BRICS countries, represents in fact, and I believe you will hear me out and agree with me, of what we call the foundation of the appropriate of right nutrition, of correct nutrition, which is the backbone of correct nutrition, because halal nutrition is really close to understanding of the right nutrition. So I think it's excellent that we had a chance to ponder the possibility of implementing this method of correct nutrition, which is acceptable to most of us. And now I believe that I'd like to give the floor to Elena Vladimirovna Shraeva, who is both chair of the coalition of BRICS Health Committee, and she's head of the Center for Business Cooperation of BRICS, and head of Alsaria, that produces indeed excellent products, food products that enable us to not only protect us from stress, not only protect us from capillaries, not only to activate microcirculatory route, but this is a product, in fact, that enables, provides for interferon therapy for the entire body.
Спасибо большое. Будьте добры, презентация.
So many thanks. So, on behalf of the BRICS Health Coalition, I'd like to thank all of our participants, all of our guests, and panelists that have come here to discuss a very important topic: integration of Islamic health practices in BRICS. I should say that this coalition, as an international non-governmental organization based on membership and association of public, nonprofit, and commercial organizations, is indeed this integration platform and the provider that strives to make sure that the best health practices of BRICS countries, including the two new members of the Islamic world, to make sure that these practices are implemented at the highest professional level, not only in Russia, but in the territory of BRICS countries. You know that the list of BRICS countries continues to grow, and we're happy to promote that growth. You'll know that BRICS is a political association of initially the family comprised 5 members, and now this year we're happy to welcome 5 new members. As of today, BRICS turned into a new center of power, new center of gravity, because 44% of the global population resides in BRICS countries. This is an important factor to note. But this coalition that is into health protection, for us, it's important to understand what is the economy. What are the economies of these countries in terms of health protection? According to the statistics, in 2023, the global market of preventive medical technology and services accounted for 4.5 trillion USD, and it is represented by various areas. And of course, the BRICS Wellness Coalition or Health Coalition will do everything in its power to promote the best traditions, the best health methodologies and methods in the territories of our countries. But like it was mentioned earlier, I'm chairwoman of this coalition, and so I'm happy that these international organizations were the founding members, including the BRICS Medical and Humanitarian Development Association, the Confucian Expert Center, the Legal Russo-Indian Association, Industrial Coalition of BRICS countries, Medical and Humanitarian Development Coalition, Health Protection Center from BRICS, Zdravoros Group, and Interdisciplinary Association of Neofunctional Therapy and Health Protection Technologies. And some of the members of our steering committee are shown in this, are present here in the panel today, and you can see it in the slide. And of course, the distinguished Natalia Konstantinovna, who is our permanent assistant, as well as an interpreter, translator. And of course, we have a number of other members who are not with us today. Our steering committee would like to give many thanks to our steering committee for setting up today's strategic panel session. Obviously, the founding members include experts, health protection entities, manufacturers, wellness health centers, resort companies, educational entities, etc. So the BRICS Health Coalition offers ample opportunities for in terms of services and products, both from individualized development roadmaps to launching products in BRICS countries. Membership and partnership options are possible, and I'm happy to see that from day to day we have ever more participants. So we have a great breadth of activities where we can render help and assistance. Obviously, we are talking about business events, business forums, summits. This is one of such events that we're present at today. We also develop strategies for companies, for personalized brands. We offer media support. We have television ad campaigns, press mentions, etc. One of the areas is the expertise or expert assessment or expert evaluation of both products and technology, because being a member of the Steering Committee for Innovation and of the Union of the Healthy, it's important for us to select not just health protecting technologies, but the best health protection technologies that are proven from scientifically to be useful and healthy. We helped in obtention of certification licensing with the help of our partners. Undoubtedly, of course, we are on the path of registration because it's impossible to talk about unification of methods and tools without understanding the field, the playing field. So we maintain a register, and of course, we launched the process in that area. So we also offer consulting and information support as well as wellness tourism services, which you will hear more about later today. Very importantly, we include educational programs. So we render educational support, and many thanks again to Dr. Hayman El-Dahal. We truly hope that training in Islamic health practices will be launched at the highest professional level, and I do hope that you will be steering this work. Of course, for us, it's very important to develop the economy. First and foremost, the Russian economy, but obviously it must be a bilateral development. So we support manufacturers, support launching their products in BRICS countries, including cross-marketing services, as well as launching on various digital platforms. Speaking of the our global ambitions, goals, we have the Blue Ocean, i.e. the ethno-confessional health parks and clusters in BRICS countries and the territories of which, just like in Disneyland, certain health practices must be represented each and every BRICS country must be represented. Speaking of BRICS, we're talking about the four key wellness methods: Chinese traditional medicine, Ayurveda, which is a Russian school of medicine, traditional school, and I'm happy that we have the Islamic wellness and health practices that join this list. Now, if we have this health park, I'm sure I will be happy to say that my mission will be accomplished by then. We support a wide area of projects, and for us, being Russian citizens, of course, it was a bit of a shame that, of course, there was this Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, but few people knew about the Russian wellness and health practices, and I'd like to give many thanks to my colleagues under the guidance of Natalia Malasha, who gathered the best health and treatment and wellness practices. So now we're putting together the system, creating a system of these Russian wellness practices, including not just the Russian banya, not just the Russian sauna, but also other functional testing technologies, healthy nutrition and nutraceuticals, as well as nature-like technologies, as well as special breathing and relaxation practices. We have a lot of very interesting programs, one of which is a project on relating with sonatal prenatal music development. The program means that a pregnant woman, as of the 14th week of pregnancy, begins using music, or thanks to music, begins to communicate with her child. And the child, at the end of the day, is a more healthy and more mature child, from the healthy standpoint. We use the Chinese methodology for vision restoration. We have an online project called Healthy Childhood. Our partners include an Ayurveda association, whose goal is to restore Rerich's heritage, which means culture is the cradle of humankind. In Kursk region, we have an IT cluster, IT park, that we can also collaborate with. Obviously, this includes a series of projects or events under the framework of the Confucius Cup and the Russian Chinese Entrepreneurs Club.
Очень важным направлением является философский и
Another important aspect is the philosophical and medical humanitarian project as part of the BRICS countries. What should be the end product of our coalition? The end product of our coalition should be formation of joint ventures of BRICS countries. And I'm positive we will have such joint ventures in the near term, in the near future. We're now not at the talks, not at the stage of negotiations, but we're at the stage of forming a smart capillaroscopy project. It's a joint Russo-Chinese project where these capillaroscopy technology helps prevent cardiovascular diseases. Obviously, we should be talking to our youth, to our younger generation, using the right language. And there's a whole a group of companies is actually doing so. Vitality and longevity is their motto. The main association dealing with in Russia that deals with regulation of health protection is the Union of the Healthy Ecosystem, the Health of the Healthy Ecosystem. That was supported by the National Health Resort Association, Preventive Maintenance Association, as well as the Agency for Strategic Initiatives and Genome Association. I'm one of the heads of that subdivision, and we closely work with the Union of the Healthy Association. It's like I said, we aim to create registers, and we also support national and cultural and health projects. So we closely cooperate with the Republic of Altai, whose representatives are here with us, and I will give them the floor later. These include several projects, including Altai Kabay project. It's both health protection as well as ethnic, historic, and cultural project. At our business breakfast, we showcased a unique project called Beli Gorod. It's hosted in the Republic of Altai as well, and it's about healthy childhood and the right psychosocial rehabilitation of children. Yet another project is Rusin Med Group project. It'll be showcased separately here, which means forming an international wellness and rehabilitation research and production complex in the Republic of Altai. We also support not just health protection projects, but also sports supporting projects. Someday, I hope UAE team will take part in BRICS countries' projects, as well as a number of other projects. We have a host of members, partners on the slide. We only show select partners, yet today we added a number of new entrants, new members, and I'll have the time, hopefully, to issue certificates. This coalition works at different levels. Obviously, we're talking about the political interactions and forging relations at the country level. And in this horizon, on this front, it's Katerina Skrinovais who does most of the work, because she's in charge of the Agency for Strategic Development of Business and Economy of BRICS countries. But it's important to note, we don't want it to be just a political talk. We understand that we should be, so to speak, down to earth and in the field. So who are there in the field? We're talking about small and mid-sized businesses, and so it's important, extremely important to help them, because most of the manufacturers, most of the producers in terms of health protection are small and mid-sized businesses, and they face issues, of course, in terms of lack of experts, competencies, promoting investment, raising funding, etc. So in order to work with them, we set up one of the tools of this coalition, which is independent directorate. It's called the Independent Directorate. So in furtherance of this presentation, I'd like to add the following. In order to implement large-scale international projects, as we said in the beginning, we require major infrastructure. In order to build all this infrastructure, we must include the investment element, the legal issues must be tackled at the international level, including the blocks relating with R&D, the R&D stage where a new product is developed, or let's say a market is identified for scaling and adaptation of international practices in various territories. And one of the mechanisms for the operation of the entity is the directorates and project offices. These project offices enable us to merge, to identify the first among the equals, to include them in a working team, in the work group. So I believe cooperative model is the future. We should unite and integrate. So while giving the floor to the next speaker, I should say that one of the existing directorates and project office in the coalition of BRICS, Healthy Practices of BRICS, is the independent directorate for the support of SMEs, which this company has high potential, and companies have high potential, and they must be supported from the investment standpoint, expert standpoint. And so Tigran Alexandrovich Nersesyan, who's co-chair of the investment committee and head of the independent directorate, will talk about this in detail. You have the floor. Thank you.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, I am so glad to welcome you, and I will be speaking using my notes. It is my honor to speak to you today and to present a new innovative tool of coalition of health in BRICS. The independent directorate as a powerful tool of safe investment in the projects, and to present the successful experience of coalition of health of BRICS. I will be speaking about the independent directorate as a tool ensuring maximal efficiency of implementation of projects and minimizations of risks down to minimums. Everybody knows about independent directorates, but it is not a new phenomenon. But both in Russia and in BRICS countries, it is under-implemented in large corporations and is not known to SMEs. The reason being that nobody knows the rules of training, formation of database and algorithms of management of the independent directorate, and methods of project preparation to independent directorate. We were focusing on SMEs because only the entrepreneurial enthusiasm is not enough. The management of organizations has become expensive and the risks higher. Therefore, the SMEs stop being the growth drivers in many industries. The investment streams to the startups are decreasing, and many organizations from healthcare, recreation, tourism is underrepresented by SMEs. The situation has its own objective and subjective prerequisites due to the historical experience of management and the constantly changing situation in economy, what was called as black swans by Nassim Taleb. We now have the necessity of radically new approaches which are different from the new approaches and in the synchronization of the already used managerial mechanisms. At this stage, the implementation of independent directorate is built on universal skills and knowledge of specific people. The way to implementation of independent directorate, we start with the improvement of methods of expertise from an in-depth of situation in the healthcare and recreational tourism, and in making forecasts up to the year 2028. An example of this article you can see on the slide right now. This enables us to perform the expertise of concepts and projects and equipment, and to select those which match the requirements of subsequent periods. Without elaborating too much on the know-how of the mechanisms of implementation and management of independent directories, I would say that we adapted all of its advantages and its functional specifics with the requirements of large organizations and SMEs, and bind them to the mission of coalition and the requirements of investors. This will be a guarantee the projects will be continued to implementation, and thus to minimize the risks for investors. The implementation of the full cycle of management of the independent directorate will enable you to save from 9 to 24% of investment funds. Here you can see the agreement of executive and non-executive directorates and independent directors. Here I'm giving an example of one of the fundamental articles published at Howard University, where independent directors and controlling shareholders' role is described in detail. The role of an independent director was taken by a representative of public community on the territory of which the implementation of this project took place. In order to make things more relatable, in order to show where the sources of such managerial tools lie in, we would have to focus on the values and the added value of managerial mechanisms. Currently, we are implementing such a tool as that we can call the little brother of independent directorate. It's called Integrated Delivery Networks, or IDN. This is the system which enables the links between the patient and the medical provider. Up to 40% of them increase the profit of the companies. I hope the example will be quite easy for you. This is the pathway of the project from membership, receiving a specific status in the coalition, and then, if necessary, it will go through the stage of expertise, which will demonstrate or confirm its viability. Thereafter, we will create a project office, and it will be populated with specialists, and we will perform what I like to call a landing of this project, i.e., confirm its viability and its investment feasibility. Another example of the way the independent director, the arrows in green show their coordinational effort. The yellow arrow shows the part which can be taken into the management. And the independent director can either coordinate and synchronize processes or directly manage them, directly administer them, as required by the owners of the project. At the same time, we must bear in mind that an independent director is a person of a coalition. These people are attracted by the coalition to respect the interests of the investors and of the coalition itself. The coalition can be useful for such a project by its knowledge base, equipment, methods, tools, and projects that are available in the database. This means that I have no more slides, and this means that I'm probably done with my presentation. Thank you very much, and I hope that the cooperation with such projects, I spoke about one of such projects, and we will speak about the project about the Rosinmed group. The project that will be implemented on the territory of the Amza Park. It is headed by Egina Dernikovna Sakan, and I'm glad to welcome Yelbakov and Andrei Yelbakov, who is the head of the Amza Agro Park. It is thanks to his effort and his cooperation that we're going to have the project where the highest medical technology and recreational technology, such as Ayurveda, for example, will be combined. Or maybe they will even use hijama and other practices of Islamic medicine. Can we have a video, please?
В самом центре Евразии, на стыке двух миров Европы.
At the very heart of Eurasia, we have a unique mountainous region, the Republic of Altai. It is here where history is looking at you from every single stone. These are the monuments of ancient civilizations and cultures which bring hundreds of thousands of people to the region. Mountainous rivers and hundreds of lakes are the unique resource for the treatment, rehabilitation, sports, and recreation. 5 unique territories belong to the list of natural legacy of UNESCO. The CEO of E-Omega, Yegine Saikan, developed a project for the construction of a medical cluster, the name of which is International Medical and Rehabilitational Medical Production Complex Rasenmed Group. The investment committee under the government of the Altai Republic got this project the status of regional project. Rasenmed Holdings is registered in India, and it is supported by the Embassy of India, by the Ministry of Healthcare, and owners of large medical centers from Egypt, Ethiopia, Sri Lanka, India, and some others. The Committee for Healthcare at BRICS and the assistance of Yelena Shuraeva helped us in promotion the regional projects of Rasenmed Group on the international level to the BRICS countries. The project was supported by regional media at the Altai Republic, and it was shown at Doordarshan TV channel in India and Ajtark TV channel. The cluster will include a multidisciplinary treatment and diagnostic and rehabilitation complex for 200 people, the sanatorium of Eastern medicine for 1,000 guests, and the training center and further training institute for medical professionals, administrative and technical and engineering compositions, and an Ayurvedic institute, a hotel for accompanying persons for 150 persons, a hotel for the personnel for 2,100 people. They will also have the complex for food supplements and pharmaceuticals production. The first section will be located on the territory of the Amza Agro Park. This is the pride of the Republic. The head of the Agro Park is Andrei Yelbakov. The project is going to use AI technologies, modules enabling a reduction of construction periods and ramping it up. The unique raw materials, high cost effectiveness, and a quick return on investment. The expansion of geography of business in Russia and in BRICS countries, support from Russian scientific community, connections with doctors from India, customers of ready products in Russia and abroad. The uniqueness of the project lies in its ideology. It gives up-to-date technologies in diagnostic treatment and rehabilitation. It has collected and tested various technologies from Russian and Indian doctors. Another competitive advantage and the core of the medical cluster is Eastern medicine. Specifically, its Ayurvedic branch, its rehabilitation and recreation specifics. Ayurveda was born approximately 4,000 years ago, and it is aimed at restoration of balance in the organism, a complex approach to the therapy of physical and neurological pathologies. We will try to keep the authenticity of the programs. Therefore, the implementation of the project will be impossible without involvement of Indian partners, doctors who have invaluable experience in delivering the Ayurvedic medicine. This is truly a project, a cross-border project, because we will be able to provide assistance to any patient wherever they are. This was done possible thanks to telemedicine of new generation. This is not simply an investment project. This is a project for everyone, and we will share it. We will assist and provide practical help to opening of such medical clusters in your regions and friendly countries of BRICS. The medical cluster, its first stage, will be launched as early as in the year 2025. The first part will be the complex for pharmaceuticals. Second stage will be launched in 2028. All medical facilities, the Institute for Retraining of Medical Professionals, and infrastructural objects we will create for comfortable conditions for the work and labor of specialists and all guests of the Mountains Altai region. We will invite you to the grand opening of the medical cluster in Altai, and we'll show you all the advantages and benefits of our equipment. Before that, we will be running conferences, forums on vital questions of healthcare. The government of Altai and the management of RusinMed. Thank you very much. Andrei Nikolaevich, will you tell us a couple of words on behalf of your park?
We know this park has potential to host most advanced production facilities. So, dear guests and panelists, I think this video is quite self-explanatory. I'd like to invite all of you who have never been to Altai and those who have. We have a very low density, 2 persons per square kilometer. Most of the area is pristine rivers and obviously beautiful mountains. There's the treatment method technology that we take pride of. And I'm not an expert in medicine, I should say. I've been into power engineering for 17 years. I've been building power installations all across Russia with a total capacity of 517 megawatt. In 2019, I came with an idea. It wasn't me. I was proposed, in fact, by the Ministry of Agriculture to form this agricultural complex to process agricultural products. Because initially we talked about that. Because unfortunately, we are the raw material base for pharmaceuticals production. But this raw materials, these facilities are unfortunately the so-called in the great production zone. So many stakeholders do not pay taxes, no official jobs, and so then the raw materials are exported out of the Altai Republic. Then it's imported back as finished products, which is definitely no good for us. So this idea of cooperation of agricultural producers, manufacturers, and the pharma was basically the outcome. So initially the project was spawned in Kazan. I was back talking to the Kazan Agricultural Park. And so the concept was spawned in the Republic of Tatarstan initially. So my colleagues shared their expertise enthusiastically, so we put together our own concept when it comes to the expos, production facilities, and the Ministry of Economic Development. Then awarded us a grant of 570 million rubles. We invested 350 million rubles of our funding, of our own funds, and we launched this project 2 years ago. Now we produce, we make water, so every day, 25 to 30,000 Russian citizens drink a bottle of our drinking water, Altai. Unfortunately, it's not represented in Kazan. I think we should ramp up production. Then we produce honey. We cool meat by using acoustic chilling, acoustic cooling. All of our agricultural products are consumed by our tourists. We have 200,000 locals and over 2.5 million tourists annually. You can imagine the workload. On the one hand, it's a beneficial thing that we have jobs, and our salaries went up maybe twofold to threefold. But lack of concept of the clear-cut concept for the tourism ministry can lead us to a halt in a way, unless we put together the tourism development strategy. People come here as tourists, they get healthier, and obviously by breathing our pristinely clear, pristine air and drinking our pristine water. But also we need to, in the mornings and in the evenings, you should take the appropriate food supplements, of course, the medicines of the clean origin. And so when we launched the project and it began to work, we came up with an idea of putting together a high-tech manufacture. Of course, it doesn't take high-tech to produce a canned product, but it's safe to say that it's a halal product. In the territory of Altai, we don't have such halal products yet. So the idea to process our endemics, the extracts, led me here so that we, as a business SME, me as an engineer, that we are able to and happy to render support, technical support. Without the water and infrastructure, heat, etc., no idea can get landed. The key idea is to quote-unquote land a project, i.e. to have it connected to infrastructure, to maintain it, to service it. We are lacking such technical staff, and I'm ready to talk about this. I'm mature enough to talk about this. When it comes to alternative medicine, in 2017,
поводом лечь в госпиталь и пролежал там 3 месяца.
Hospital back in 2017 with brain damage, so it took me some time to restore. So my body got out of balance. I had to get healed to treat it. It was a bit of a surprise to me, a positive surprise. I went to Hainan in China, and I was a doctor, and the doctor brought me back to life in 10 days. My stomach began to operate properly, and I felt really bad, and I had some suicidal thoughts even. So when it comes to traditional medicine, they couldn't do. They took me to after that. They took me to a traditional hospital in Russia, where the doctors had told me, "Well, you're 100% healthy." And back then I was only 36 years of age. There was 860 people employed.
Кончилось, я перегрузился, переутомился, и вот.
So my body, I was probably too stressed, and so it was the traditional medicine that healed me. And the doctor said, "What are you doing in China? So all these herbs that I gave you healed you. Everything that you need is there, available in Altai. So go back to Altai, find a herb expert, professional." He didn't tell me anything new, but he gave me massage therapy and needle therapy, and since then I'm an active proponent of these Ayurvedic preparations. My entire family, my parents, and my family members apply these preparations, these drugs and methods every day. They work, and personally, I should say that you cannot afford not to do so on a daily basis. And our visitors and tourists also urge to apply these methods. So as an engineer, I'm ready to cooperate with you, and I urge you to come to us to rest, to heal yourself, to get rehabilitated, and you should implement these technologies. Thank you very much for your presentation, for your kind words. We are totally in favor of such cooperation, as we had talked about. We say that the future is the cooperative model of the economy, and to get these complex models together, pointing out that not just our country, but other BRICS countries are rich in technologies, in people, in HR resources. So all of this requires modeling and expansion. So here we wanted to show, our next speaker will showcase our ability to expand our horizontal networking, horizontal ties. Speaking of health technologies, health practices, we talk about complemental sectors. And here we would like to give the floor to Yelena Kalibina, who is member of the Council for the Financial, Industrial, and Investment Policy of the Russian Federation and head of the International BRICS Consortium. And you have the mic, so you could speak from your chair. So we've been building business relations with her, with this council. Please take the floor. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Many thanks for this invitation. I'd like to thank the organizers of this beautiful event, Ms. Sharaeva for this invitation, Dr. Sharaeva for inviting me to speak here, and for the cooperation that we have been doing for the past few years. So this cooperation with BRICS Council, Health Council, is very important to us. Now that the world is suffering from hybrid wars, and we're not quite healed from the COVID-19 pandemic, it impacted many countries and affected many countries. So obviously, food price increases also affect this situation. So this unification of BRICS nations and associations also is a positive sign. Expansion of BRICS increased the share to 37% of the global consumption. So in total, BRICS comprises 10 member states. So all of the prime members, the initial members, greeted the expansion, because this expansion helps negate or reduce poverty and helps improve overall health and well-being. The International Consortium of BRICS Consortium is a system of cooperation of several organizing companies that merge and unify their resources to achieve a common goal and to solve common challenges, tackle challenges. We do joint developments, implement large-scale projects. We partake in tenders and a host of other joint initiatives. The main objective of the consortium is to enhance efficiency and competitiveness of its members by jointly using the resources, the knowledge base, and expertise. The International BRICS Consortium has 36 areas of business activity to support business partnerships and cooperation between companies from various BRICS countries. We set up BRICS Hub, thanks to which we hold business events, conferences, expos, etc. for the hub members. It's also important to support startups and young entrepreneurs from BRICS countries. The BRICS Business Hub is a forum for the development of international business and cooperation between companies from BRICS countries, and by fostering economic relations and the development of the business environment in the region. The International Consortium also hosts a charity fund, BRICS Fund, that renders support, donates to people as well as animals, aiming to save the environment. Our mission is to help support healthcare, education, social protection, and the environment and ecology in these countries, BRICS countries. We render different kinds of support, including economic support, medical, healthcare, humanitarian aid, as well as charitable actions and events. The BRICS Fund calls on to all the people who share our visions to donate and to help. Together, we can achieve a lot more, and we can help all those in need of our help. Our objective is to make the world a better place by supporting all of those in need and to protect the environment. So the cooperation between Russia and the Islamic world has deep roots, and it determines Russia's external policy, international policy. Russia has long traditions of cooperating with Islamic world. Russia, in fact, has certain Islamic republics, as part of its federation. We've been developing our relations with the Islamic world on both the political, economic, and cultural levels. For example, Russia set up a strategic partnership with the Islamic countries, including Turkey, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and many African countries, Islamic African countries. So the key areas of cooperation include fighting terrorism, tourist cultural exchange, and cooperation in the area of education, sciences, and healthcare. In general, the cooperation of Russia and the Islamic world has high potential, and it can foster the establishment of a peaceful and prosperous world order. Thank you very much.
Dear colleagues, dear ladies and gentlemen, I think that you've been listening quite carefully to the presentations that we've had, and you see how energetic and bright are the people who cooperate with the BRICS Healthcare Coalition. And I'm going to give the floor to one more bright speaker, Director of the Center of Public Diplomacy for BRICS Plus, Head of the Committee for Medical Tourism in the National Union of Hospitality Industry, and General Director of Amal Group, the company specializing in medical tourism, Aisha Osman, who I believe will touch upon some points which were pronounced by the PM of India: one Earth, one family, one life. And recreational tourism is one of the tools that enables us to do exactly so. Thank you, and may I thank all of you. As the final speaker, allow me to draw some conclusions. Okay, we already spoke that the global problem is maintaining personal health. Healthy life without diseases is a universal value that people strive for. Depending on natural, climatic, technical, and economic capabilities of different countries, we have a growing demand for recreational and medical tourism. Every year, more and more is being included in the global market of medical tourism, which is highlighted by the rating of the countries in medical tourism. In the past 3 years, the Russian market of medical tourism has switched from the phase of stagnation into the growth phase. The popularity of medical tourism is shown by the fill rate of resorts and sanatoriums. This indicator has grown by more than 10% on average, but some regions have shown even a more significant growth. For example, in St. Pete and Leningrad Oblasts and in Caucasus, the fill rate was increased by 49%. In Russia, we have more than we have 18 resort regions, and each of them has their own resort resources. Seaside territories, medicinal muds, and so on. You all know your own resort regions. Statistically, the best resorts in Russia are in the Moscow region and in the Caucasus. In today's complicated conditions of international situation, BRICS is an example of efficient teamwork of participant countries. We yet have to join our efforts based on the international platform of BRICS Health Coalition and to become a designer and provider of best standards in healthcare in BRICS countries. We will have to increase the innovation in medical tourism, develop the transfer of advanced development, implement new methods of diagnostic and treatment, and to integrate Islamic and Ayurvedic practices and wellness theories in Chinese medicine. All that has to be integrated in the healthcare industry. Simultaneous presence of all types of innovation in innovation will have to be present: technical, technological, methodological, and organizational and managerial. The escalation of armed conflicts touching the national interests of participants of BRIC countries increases the importance of their engagement in the processes of rehabilitation of victims of armed conflicts, catastrophes, and so on. So it would be worthwhile to create recreational objects of various types on the territories of countries participating in the BRICS. In them, different traditional wellness and healthcare and treatment systems would be present, with a priority of the local traditional practices. Implementation of national projects under the auspices of BRICS Plus will serve as the foundation for the implementation of such projects. Probably it will be thanks to our collaboration and the unification of our various approaches will be at the base of international medical tourism. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you, dear guests and dear speakers. In drawing the line under the presentation and under this event, we would like to give memorial certificates on to the participants. At first, dear colleagues, I'm very proud, and I would like to thank you. I would like to say a big thank you to our friends who made a long way here and reached out their helping hand and became our representatives on the territory of UAE and the Islamic Republic of Iran, because today we signed the agreements on cooperation between Abdullah al-Suaidi and Reza Habadi Meher, to the effect that they will be representing both in the UAE and the Islamic Republic of Iran of our organization respectively. Despite the fact that we hadn't had the time to sign an agreement with the chain of holistic medicine clinic of Dr. Hyman, I am sure we will do it in the nearest future. And I would like to thank him for his patience and his labor. Honestly speaking, from my heart, I find it quite uncomfortable that we had some organizational difficulties within our organization. We hope it will be all done on the best level possible. May I ask you to stand up for the pictures? And we would like to thank our co-chair. We would like to thank Vicente Carlos Barrientos, who is our great friend and our great contributor. Aisha Osman, thank you for your expertise. We believe your experience will be very useful for establishing the relations with the Islamic world. Belgorod, working on the territory of the Republic of Altai.
У нас сейчас есть небольшое время для
Dear colleagues, our event today is finished, but we still have some time for informal communication.